glad to be back on the channel. This year is really about honoring wherever I am and honoring the transformations that are happening in real time. And I have been able to just learn and come across such amazing scholars within these past couple of weeks, honestly, that I want to bring to you all as I think about wellness and as we think about mindset and as we think about how do we not only survive but thrive during a period where survival seems like it may be the only option, and how we truly can choose abundance and how the scarcity mindset is one that we don't have to buy into. And it's about surrounding yourself in community, whether that's through social media or whether that's through, the people that you're able to touch each and every day, around how do we move from a place that is filled with abundance, and how do you set yourself up to have reminders, whether that's on the phone, whether that's through conversation, whether that's through the media that you are consuming, to remind you of this life that you are living and this life that you are choosing, and reminding yourself that it is one that can be from abundance. And so the question that I have to pose to you all today comes from Dr. Daniel Black. I recently came across him literally on YouTube, right? And he is such a intentional thought leader, such an intentional scholar. And one of the questions that he posed within the panel that I was watching, or the interview rather, was, what would you do if you were the only person on this earth? And it's such a powerful question, because it really causes you to think about yourself for yourself and not in relationship to anyone else. Because the way that he poses it is that if you are someone here to inspire, you will find a way to even inspire the trees, right? Even if there is no one else on this earth, what would you do? And so, in being able to pinpoint what it is that you would do if there was no one else around, it really allows you to look at what are your gifts and what is the reason that you were put here on this earth, to then allow you to serve whoever it is that you were supposed to serve. So I have thoughts, I have notes to really guide this conversation, because you know that I can get long-winded and I can move away. So we are going to stay on track so that I'm really able to not get too long-winded with you all. So that's the powerful question that he poses. And I love it because what it does is that it removes the gaze of other people. It removes the gaze of other people's opinions as well, to where there's no one else. There is only you. And if there is only you, what would you be doing? Because so many times we look at what is valued in society. What is it in society that people are looking for or searching for, or where do you get the gold check or the A+? You look for a pat on your back from your parents or from friends or literally strangers on the street that you may or may not be competing with. I feel like that's a lot of what we see within the world. That's a lot of what we see within our systems of chasing and going after goals that necessarily may not be ours. And I think it's so important for us to stop and think about what goals we have set out for ourselves, and what is it that we are imagining our lives to look like, and is it from a place where we are moving from ego, or are we moving from our soul? And so ego looks like, who is it, right, that I can be, or how can I serve myself or serve that part of me that is absolutely just tied to the material things of the world, that is absolutely tied to, this is the gold star that you can get, that's absolutely tied to, I'm better than you, or I'm great and you're not great, or we're great and you're not great, which then ties into tribal leadership, which I've also been enjoying as I read Phil Jackson's book, 11 Rings, which I'm going to do a deep dive on because it's been absolutely amazing. But that's really that's what it really boils down to as you think about what is the ego and how is it working versus your soul, which is literally about what is the reason that you've been put on this earth. And one of the ways that I believe the soul goals really come, and you can say, okay, this is definitely a soul goal, is because as you think about the process, there really is a win in just being able to be a part of the journey. What do I mean by that? When I was doing my one person performance in terms of getting it put up, getting Beyond the Roots actually on stage, I looked back at the journey and I was so proud of the work that I had done. I was so excited about the interviews that I had conducted. I was so just thankful for the actual process of doing the research and getting in the mud and traveling here and traveling there to get these answers that I was seeking, to where the final performance was absolutely amazing. I love the impact that it made on other people. But what was so rich for me, was the actual journey of it all, and how I was able to look at myself and look at the way that I had grown within that journey. I think sometimes when those goals are attached to ego, you look back at the journey and it doesn't fill you up the way that it probably should. And you even look at the end goal and you're happy for a moment and then it goes away. While those soul goals, they continue to build on top of each other of where it is that you are supposed to be going, or how your purpose, right, even expands based off what it is that you have now completed. And it's all working together in alignment for you to continue to the next step. While those ego goals really are baseless in terms of the way that they feed you. And it requires you, right, to think about who it is that you are and what is your relationship to ambition. And is your ambition rooted in purpose, or if it's rooted in performance, and if it's rooted in what society has told you what is valued, right? And so to even get there, it really does cause you, right, to then say, I need to discover and rediscover who I am. I need to discover and rediscover what lights me up inside. I need to discover and rediscover what are my gifts and what my gifts actually are, and how I can use those gifts to serve other people. And so many times when you are even looking at your gifts, it's one of those things where, because it may come to you with ease, you don't even see it as a gift, but that's exactly what it can be. Or if it's a gift that you don't believe is valued in society, then you don't actually go and pursue it. And there's so many times where we think to ourselves, am I worthy of the goal that I have set out for myself? And the truth is that you are. You are definitely worthy. And what stops a lot of people is that they don't believe that they are worthy, because they get worth and value mixed up when they are two totally different things. And it's something that we do in society, right? We use the words worth and we use value interchangeably when they are not. If you woke up this morning and you have breath in your body, then you are worthy of whatever is put on your heart, whatever desire has been put on your heart. But the value that you bring to the table can change. And that value can change just based off the people that you are around. A water bottle, the same exact bottle of water, costs more in the airport than it does at your local grocery store, because they're two totally different environments. While you being worthy of having water, it doesn't change, because it's not granted, right, by people. It's granted by something much higher than you that we don't even have a say in. And we so many times give society and other people power over what it is that we can do, and in doing so they win, because you automatically take yourself out of the game by not even realizing it's your birthright. And so that's really what it boils down to when it comes to the difference between worth and value, and who is this person that you are becoming. And it's so important, because the journey of going after a soul goal and really operating with your soul is absolutely priceless. There's no price tag that you can put on it. And I really encourage you during this time to sit down and look at your goals and ask yourself, who am I doing this for? And at the end of this goal, when I accomplish it, is it something that I will not only be proud of in the end, but when I look back on it? And is it building towards me becoming the best version of myself? Is it building towards me being able to serve in my highest capacity? Is it building towards a future that I can be absolutely proud of building. You really have to start asking yourself those questions. And those are questions that I continue to ask. Um, so I guess that would be the journal prompt, right? That you can definitely give to yourself. I'm really excited about what this journey will be as we revamp the channel. So if this is conversation that you are interested in, definitely continue to stick around. If there's anything that you all would like to talk about, drop a comment below and we can get that going. But I appreciate all the support and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. And until next time, be limitless.